What are you doing in here already? So we've had a pretty wet weekend, so I haven't had a chance to get a lot done. Finally got nice today, so on Sunday, and just decided I did a little bit of filming earlier, and then it's pretty nice out, so I thought I'd come over here and go ahead and finish the work that I'd started last week to kind of get this flooring totally finished, get my trapdoor totally finished. So let's get her done. A couple things that we're gonna do. One of the things that we need to do is make sure that I have a hook for this this pull rope on my trapdoor. And so I've got a couple of options here. I've got like a picture hanger for drywall, but I can see that's probably not gonna work. I mean, I could drill a hole in it and then feed it through. So I think I'm gonna skip that one. And then I have this heavy duty picture frame holder, and it's made for going through either sheetrock or you could screw it directly in. And so I'll just adjust it and break this piece off and screw it in, and I think that'll be perfect for us. I'll just screw it right into this batten right here, which is there's a stud behind it, and I think that'll give us a perfect little hook for my paracord here to hook into, and then we'll have a perfect little option for keeping that door held open so it's not trying to push back on us. Second thing we're going to do is this rubber flooring. It's perfect, but we laid it when it was cold, and I fitted it too tight. And so now that it's gotten warm, I can see that it expands with the heat, and I'm getting some bubbles in it. So what I'm going to do is come along the edge and just take off probably half an inch, maybe not quite a half an inch, just along the edge here. And that's going to give it room for expansion when it's hot. And then maybe on this back wall, I may have to do it as well, because I think it's long ways and width-wise that I'm just too tight. And then the third thing, once we have the hook installed and everything ready to do, I'm going to trim this trap door so that there's a tiny little gap around it for that expansion and contraction. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive down on the OSB board that is my trap door that will give me, you know, a nice solid connection with this rubber flooring. That way it's not flopping around when I open and close the door. I think that's going to be enough to hold it. If not, I can come through here and you know, put a couple flush mount screws or something into it, but I don't really want to do that unless I have to. So anyway, let's just get after it. I'll go ahead and start with this this hanger. I think that'll be perfect. I'm thinking if I come down just a touch, I can mark it. All right, so now we should be able to drill in, hopefully. I can reach that. Nope, it don't look like it. Maybe I need to come down just a bit. That should work right there. Shoot. Okay, so hopefully, yeah, buddy. All right, that works out good. Now, once I get this rubber flooring attached to it, it won't want to drop so easily. It'll just be nice and tight on there. So, all right, next thing we need to do is go ahead and loosen up this flooring. So I'll take off about a half an inch here along the edge, and that'll give me a little bit more expansion room. So let's get to that. Whew. That's tough work. This stuff is really, really tough. So it should last forever in here. I'll tell you, that would have been a hell of a lot easier if I had done it when I was laying this down. All right. Okay, rubber being too tight is no longer an issue. Now I just need to fix this door, the trap door. There's a little bit more play in this, so I don't actually have to trim this. What I'm gonna do though, since I can kind of pull the rubber this direction and that direction from where it's split, so I'm just gonna put a screw in this corner on both of them, and that should keep this from pushing in on each other and then my rubber not seating like I want it to. So once I took that extra out, I noticed I could just kind of shuffle this rubber a little bit this direction, and I had plenty of room to give me a little bit of a gap there. So no need for me to trim it. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a few screws in these corners just to hold it in place, and it should be good to go. I'm just gonna use what I've got. So these little small countersunk head screws, that should work fine. Just take it easy when I put them in there. Oops. Okay, that worked pretty well, I think. I might actually put a couple behind here in the back just to hold that in place as well. That should work. They sunk in pretty nice. Okay, that should be good to go. Now I'm going to put an adhesive to hold this rubber down to the wood trapdoor. We should be good to go. I'm just using what I have. I have some, it's white, siliconized acrylic latex caulk. Okay, let's give it the caulk. Caulk with an L, of course. Got that all done. So the blind's pretty much in tip-top shape, ready to rock and roll for the season. Just glad to get that accomplished. One of the things, I was thinking about is land ownership, and I'm putting a lot of sweat equity, whatever you want to call it, into renovating my blind here, making it nice so that I can use it and just really enjoy it. I don't have to do all that. It was fine the way it was before I come in here and enclosed the inside and all of that, but being as nice as it is in here now, I'm really going to feel like when it comes rifle season or whatever, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm gonna go sit in my blind, I'm gonna enjoy it and have a good time. But it's because of the fact that I own this property that's allowing me the opportunity to do to do something like this. And that's kind of what I was thinking about, is buying land is a very scary proposition for most people, right? When we bought this property 14 years ago, it was a very scary proposition. I didn't make as much money then as I make now. So it was a bigger chunk of my salary that I would have to set aside to make sure that I could make my payments on the property. We had a house with a mortgage in town. The whole goal was to buy this land, sell that house, build a house out here. And that's what we did. And the only way we could do that was, the first step was to go ahead and buy the property. And so at the time, the amount of money that I paid for it, I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. And really, as I look back now, 14 years later, it's a steal. I could sell it for twice as much today as what I bought it for then. So if I think about it in those terms, buying land today is the best time you could ever buy property. It's not going to go down in value. Time has proven out that land just doesn't really go down. So if you're thinking about trying to buy a piece of land, become a landowner, now's the time. Especially if you're young, you're going to make more money as you get older. It's just how it works. And so you'll have a smaller part of your your expenses as you get older and make more money. The amount you're paying for your land is a smaller portion of the amount of money that you make. And again, it's an investment that if I had to sell it or decided to sell it at any point, I'm going to make more money off of it than what I put into it. So I'm just kind of throwing it out there that today is the best day to buy land. Not tomorrow, not next year, not 10 years down the road. If I had waited, 14 years until I had the money to, to buy it, I couldn't buy it because I wouldn't have the money to buy it because I'd only have half because it's going to cost twice as much. So I just kind of want to give you guys, those little words of wisdom, of experience of being a landowner, that it's scary to jump off into the deep end of the pool, but it was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made, obviously behind, finding my wife and marrying her and, having our daughter. Those are the two obvious best decisions I've ever made, but, having my own piece of ground probably comes in pretty much right behind it. I get to enjoy it every day. I live on it, so I get anytime I want to go hunting, I just boom, right out the back door and head right on down into the timber, and I'm there. There's not I got to get up 2.5 hours earlier than I want to because I've got to drive an hour and a half and got to get gas and all that kind of stuff. Nope, just get up, get in the shower, walk out the door, walk down to my stand. So I know not everybody can have that, that setup, but that's what we were striving for. That was kind of the goal, and that's what we were able to accomplish with this piece of property. It's not huge, like I've said before, it's only 40 acres, but it's been good to me. I enjoy it. Good deer hunting on it. Turkey hunting's just okay. I just don't see very many turkeys on it, but whatever. If I want to go small game hunting or anything like that, I can do that. Being a landowner, it's nice, it's empowering. I don't have to worry about somebody being, in my stand location or, somebody walking through when I'm hunting. It's my place. If I want to have somebody come hunt on it, I certainly can, but if not, I don't have to because it's mine. So anyway, just some words of wisdom about being a landowner and potentially purchasing property. So I'll catch you on the next one. Oh goody, Bumblebee. This definitely is not where you want to be, Mr. Bumblebee. There you go, all right. Just so we're clear there, that's Bumblebee. We'll save his life. That's a wasp, he dies.